welcome. Another edition of the number one podcast. I am your host, Coach Jake. I am so happy to see you guys. Right now, we are streaming out everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. What's up, Razorback? What's up? I'm Just Chaos. Liam, Revlock, Eduardo. Happy to see all you guys. Hit me up with the number one in the chat. Give me a roll call where you coming in from. Chris Bubbs, how would you stop a spladle? Okay, guys, can I have you understand something? You don't get into it. You got to know what you're looking for, first of all. So your first step is getting a spladle. Realize how incredibly embarrassing it is. We just saw that in the NCAAs today. I have not had a chance to watch a video. I've been working all day. Who was that got caught in that spladle? I already posted it. Oh, man, it's brutal. That's a rough one. We are the specialists. We've had the guy who made it famous, Wade Chalice. He's the guy, and he is exclusive to Scientific Wrestling, has been for 20 years, 2 decades. That's why we're number one. We go with number one all the time. Anyway, dude, sick. Let's see. I'm missing too soon. Yeah, man, it's a rough one, dude. That's a rough one. Revlock, been there, done that. In the quarters, yeah. What's the softest part of someone's foot? What are you talking about, dude? I don't know what that hell of a question that is. Somebody asked, what's the softest part of somebody's foot? Where can I catch wrestling in Phoenix, Arizona? You can find it at the number one affiliate for Scientific Wrestling, and that would be Black Flag Submission Company in Glendale. Go check them out. Coach Gil Olivas, he's one of the very few Scientific Wrestling elite coaches that we have. Again, Black Flag Submission Company. Just, say, hey, Black Flag Submission Company near me or whatever in your phone. It'll pop up. Get over there. It is literally one of our winningest gyms, one of the highest competitive gym. They won the award last year. They've held tons of competitions, catch wrestling. Gil will not steer you wrong. That is a killer community too. So get out there, man. Get out there. Let's see here. I won state for off-season with a spladle. Dude, yep, spladles are where it's at, bro. Spladles are where it's at. So, the thing is with a spladle, man, you cannot let the guy get the arm in. So your first thing is shuck that hook. When he throws in the leg ride, shuck that hook. My shirt, what's it say? It says King of Sports, something. Yeah, it's a collar and elbow t-shirt. It's Al Snow's company, Collar and Elbow. They make really cool shirts. Yeah, we've got great shirts, by the way. We've got really cool shirts. You guys need to check them out. I'm getting them up on the Scientific Wrestling page as we speak. I hope you guys are doing good today, man. What are we talking about? Again, give me a roll call. What's up, Revlock? Give me some fire. I hope that helps. So today, what are we talking about, man? Winning strategies. How many of you guys watched Roadhouse? I watched it. Guilty pleasure. Guilty as charged. Conor McGregor might be the worst actor I've seen in a while. One of my friends, Nick, who has done commentary for Shoot Pro Wrestling, Nick Gossard, he commented, he said, man, you could smell the cocaine watching that movie, watching Conor McGregor. So who here watched that movie? How many of you guys watched Roadhouse already with Jake Gyllenhaal? I thought it was awesome. I really the fight choreography was freaking sick. I loved the fight choreo. I thought it was really great. It was cool, man. I love that film. I'm gonna be real. The acting, no, you're not watching it for acting. And Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job. Jesse Mendez hit on a Husker. Sorry, Nebraska. Nebraska's a neighbor of us to the north here in Colorado. But sorry, sounds like you better get to a Scientific Wrestling camp. Start learning that spladle, my friend. Great job, Mr. Mendez. Appreciate you. Applaud. Pulling off a spladle in the NCAAs. Let's give some love to Coach Wade Chalice for that. So did you guys watch? Are you watching the NCAAs? Did you watch Roadhouse? Chris Bubbs, I got Penn State winning it all, dude. Okay, I don't think that's a hard bet. I don't know anybody's going to take that bet. I think that are the NCAA's. I mean, I know you can't. It's amateurs, but dude, I won't take that bet because I think you're probably right. They're so dominant, and Iowa's just had a hard time with all the controversies and whatnot. So, anyway, oh, you're watching NCAA. Where are you watching it? Are you watching on ESPN or Fubo, or where are you watching it? Because I've got Roku. I dropped cable, so I got to find the right Roku channel to watch it. Um, I've just been kind of watching it online or whatever. I mean, I think Flow Wrestling is there. Is it Flow? Over there, ESPN. Yeah. Do you have the ESPN app on Roku, or do you do cable still? I don't know, man. I don't, Chris, I'm probably getting way into your guts. Anyway, dude, let's talk about business. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about athletics. I came up with this thing. Chris Bubbs says, yeah, ESPN and Flow. Revlock, any tips on handling your income from the IRS so you don't have to pay taxes? There's a lot of strategy on legal tax avoidance, man. You don't want to mess with the IRS. They'll ruin your life. I've had friends get in trouble with it. I've had them levy my accounts, and they were wrong, and I proved it, and they put it back. You don't want to mess with them, dude. They are rough, man. It's like they make the mafia look like kids. So that said, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find yourself an accountant. You got to find yourself minimum. I would recommend somebody like a registered agent. That gives them quicker access to the IRS. It's a higher level of expertise, but they're not as expensive as a CPA. So that's probably where I would go first. Go look at them, come up with some legal avoidance strategies. Some of the things you could do, the biggest thing you can do is stop having earned income. Do you understand the hustle and the reason why people are upset? There wasn't an income tax in the United States. They had to actually add it later because the founding fathers were so against the whole idea. Because it sucks. It's no good. It's slavery. I mean, Robert Nozick in his little board, you could go onto YouTube, type in Robert Nozick, Nozick, Tale of a Slave, and he basically shows you that the income tax is slavery. So the irony is we got the income tax largely as a result of the fallout of the Civil War. So I have a buddy of mine who's a historian, Jeffrey Rogers Hummel. I interviewed him on my old show, and he has this book called Emancipating Slaves, Enslaving Free Men. And that was the whole point, that, yeah, we ended slavery, like chattel slavery, only to rename it the income tax and open it up to everybody despite race. So everybody effectively is acting as a slave. Notice that the income tax and the 16th Amendment and the Federal Reserve Act happened in the same year, right? So this is the challenge, is that if you understand how it works, your income tax goes to pay down the interest on the national debt. That's really where it goes. Bottom line, I have a master's degree in financial math to graduate level monetary theory and economics. I'm just telling you the facts. And that is the Treasury handing over debt. That's the Treasury creates these T-bills and forms of debt. That's the national debt. Gives them over to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, in exchange, buys them with money they print out another. Biggest scam in the world. Unbelievable, frankly, central banking. This is why guys like Ron Paul have been talking about end the Fed forever. Does that make sense? So get yourself a good registered agent with the IRS. That's going to be your first step. Second, you're going to want to get an attorney, probably, and maybe even a tax advisor. Depends how much money you're making. But if you're making a lot of money with earned income, that's the one that's taxed the most. Income tax. We pay almost 50% of our revenue if you're working a job, like a W-2 job, after sales taxes, state taxes, income tax, federal, and all that. Dude, you're paying almost half of your money to the man, and you're not really getting that great of a service in return, to be fair. So after you get yourself a registered agent, after you get yourself like a CPA and you start working up and you're making more and more money, and you're trying to figure out legally how to work the system, then you've got to get like the rich guys. What the rich guys do, like Bezos and Trump and all these other guys, Cardone, what they do is they move it from earned income to passive income, because earned income is taxed, passive income is not taxed in the same way. Dude, that's a whole deal, dude, that I can't really cover, but I'm giving you some nuggets. You can go start your own research and investigation. I hope that helps. But I came up with this framework because I work at software. I have a software company with my wife, and I worked at software for years. I'm also a business guy, I'm also a sports guy. And in my mind, all that starts jumbling together. And, I'm kind of low key and try not to be pretentious, but I do have a master's degree in math. I'm really good at research. I was a professional statistician, quantitative analyst. So I kind of put this stuff together in an analytical framework. And I call the framework sportify or sportification. And really, I got the idea because I was studying gamification. How do you gamify in software participation of people in the marketplace? Now, social media has done this great. Badges, leaderboards, that's gamification. But the problem is gamification is all about external, what is known as extrinsic motivation, outside. It's dangling a carrot and getting you to go after it, right? So the trick here is that's limited. All the research on extrinsic motivation, gamification, shows that it's very limited, actually. It works. It works better than not doing gamification. But intrinsic motivation is where it's at. And that's where I was like, well, what is intrinsic motivation? Start looking at it. And to me, that is the difference between games and sport. A game you play because there's a trophy to be won, whatever. And that happens in sports as well. But what's the difference between gamification and sportification? And by and large, it is coaching. Most game players, you go play chess, well, maybe at high levels you get a coach. Okay. But anytime you want to move from the extrinsic and have it internally motivated, a lot of it is coaching. So I decided to say, I noticed that there's parallels. In fact, to me, business is a sport. It's competitive. There's teams, there's points, and you have to do stuff, whether you're getting a leaderboard or whatever. You've got to have that internal drive to win. Very competitive, very, very, very complementary, if not almost exact mapping in my mind. And so this whole sportification idea developed out of that, extending gamification. Well, I've realized it's much bigger. My second book in that series is coming out. And the first book was called Sportify, and it's beyond business gamification, right? The next one is Sportify, beyond business ethics, and we're going to explore the idea that is so good in sports, and that is meritocracy, right? A meritocracy is very important. It happens in sports. It doesn't happen in business, and it should. It should. We got to get over all this nonsense. We should start going back to a meritocracy. And we need to start looking at good sportsmanship. Just like ethics, right? Nobody likes it. You get whiffed, somebody's cheating in sports, man, people get pissed. We need to have that same level of expectation with business. So anyway, this is really the framework. So I want to dive deep into this parallel. And that's really the point of this whole podcast, is the parallels, the connections. Sometimes I'll go deep into wrestling or grappling or MMA. Other times I'll go deep into business. But it's really, that's the point, is where I'm at right now, right? I've had these shows forever. I used to have a talk radio show back when radio was actually a thing. And it was on the third oldest talk radio station in the country. Did it for 3 years, live, two-way talk radio, call-in show, did that. But it was political, but that's where I was. I learned my own personal experience that politics is trash. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm out of it. As such, now I'm very much obsessed with coaching, both business and wrestling. So I'm trying to merge the two. That's the point. And that's really where my mind has gone and why I came up with Sportify, right? So I want to talk about the context of Roadhouse. When I think about Roadhouse, how many of you guys saw Roadhouse? Give me a number one in the chat if you actually saw Roadhouse. I'm going to go and look through because I know I missed some comments here. Give me a number one in the chat. Chris Bubbs, yeah, DM me your wrestling video, bro. Or better yet, collab, and I'll share it to the page if you collaborate. I think I missed it. I think I got everybody. Looking here. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm all caught up. If I miss anything, throw it in the chat. How many of you guys saw Roadhouse? Anybody? Did anybody see? I saw it. Okay, so what was the point of Roadhouse? What is the point of entertainment? How many of you guys, let me ask you a different way. Business hat on for a second. No pun intended. How many of you guys saw product placement in Roadhouse? That saw it. Name a product, a brand that you saw in Roadhouse. I can tell you one right now. It's obvious. And it's really where I'm leading with this question. It was UFC. Did you guys see the UFC brand all over Roadhouse? I'm asking you, had Conor McGregor, who's the poster boy for modern, he can't win anymore, but he could sell. Tiddlywings Bilal said yes. Revlock car. Yeah, that was another product placement. Product placement. What is a product placement? Product placement is a form of marketing. So let's go back to UFC. Roadhouse was largely a vehicle to sell the UFC. Because here we have major movie star Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay. He's up there, handsome, ripped, shredded, all that shit, movie star. And he kicks everybody's ass. He's the hero. He goes through struggle. And the two bad guys, the conflict is between Jake Gyllenhaal, who's a UFC fighter, and Conor McGregor, who we know in real life is a UFC fighter. And they have these epic battles, especially at the end. Okay? I'm not going to give any spoilers, but UFC, that was a 2-hour commercial for the UFC. Am I wrong? If you think I'm wrong, I would love to hear it. Roadhouse was a 2-hour commercial or a 90-minute or whatever commercial for the UFC. Brilliant. Brilliant. Do you understand? Product placement. UFC is all over that, like flashback sequences, MMA references. They talk about it in the script. They use the term UFC. So how does that apply? Because not only is business a sport, my Sportify premise, but not only is business a sport, but sport is a business. Do you understand? They're almost identical in that sense. Dude, it looks like a snowstorm in here, man, on this camera. That's so weird. So my question to you is right, like, we have to learn to market. If you have a boxing match and nobody watches, did it really happen? Yeah, it happened, but nobody knows. Okay? The only way you're going to know is if somebody films it with their cell phone, it goes on to YouTube, and now people watch it. But even then, maybe only you get 3 views. You've got to promote. You've got to market. Make sense? So even if you're in a sport, even if you're an athlete, let's use Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has not won anything really in a long time. Is that fair? Like he hasn't won a contest, a sporting contest. Yet I think he still holds the record for being the highest paid athlete on a per minute basis than anybody in sports comprehensively for the amount of time spent. Okay? So, why? Because Conor took a page out of pro wrestling. He started learning how to cut promos. what they call in that business selling. Like, how am I going to sell the match? I got to create heat, a conflict where none existed. Do you think he really doesn't like Jose Aldo? No, it's all just show to get you to watch him fight. And then he happened to win, and it worked out well for him. It was a good gamble. It was a good gamble. Fair? Let's see. I know I missed some comments on here. Jimmy Hovey says they should make a movie about the story of Billy Robinson's life. I agree, man. It'd be a really good story. You know what would be? I actually wrote my own screenplay years ago based on the life of a golden era catch-as-catch-can guy named Tom Jenkins. Fascinating. Fascinating story. Yeah, and I think Billy's life story would be absolutely fascinating. Bill, physical chess is where we just need a script writer to look at physical chess and adapt it into a film. Be happy to help anybody who wants to take that on. Anyway, let's see. Ariel says, here in Brazil, almost a century ago, in the articles, people would compare jiu-jitsu to a catch so people could understand what jiu-jitsu is. Thank you, brother. Right there, Ariel is a grappling literate person who has sorted through the marketing and the propaganda and started looking at things objectively through old newspaper clippings, facts, published documents, historical records. Catch-as-catch-can is the most powerful, most impactful combat sport, and arguably sport to ever exist. This is, again, why I've been able, I have my master's in financial math. I'm a 10X certified elite coach. I'm in the top 5%. I was the number 2 coach for Grant Cardone. Again, master's in financial mathematics, worked in investment banking for business, and started and grown and sold multiple companies, and worked with all the number 1 leading greatest minds in wrestling, and especially wrestling for grappling and MMA. I've combined those two, and that is the Sportify. This is on Amazon, by the way. It's not long. It's not crazy. I made this like as a business book, so I don't want it. It's not some huge dissertation. I've written a lot of books. Go check it out. You can go Sportify on, and it'll be hard to find. You probably need to put in Sportify Jake Shannon, and then it'll pop up. Anyway, all right, guys. I'm not going to stay on too late or too long today. I got a lot of stuff to do. I've been on calls all day. Ariel says, people ask what luta livre is. It seems that the easiest way to people understand it is saying that it is no-gi jiu-jitsu, but it's not the same. Yeah, this is the problem, okay? First of all, I hate this idea of defining something with a negative. Okay, no-gi? What the fuck does that? Then if it's no-gi, then it's not jiu-jitsu. I hate to break it to you, dude. It's not jiu-jitsu, okay? Second of all, that's like me calling grappling no pin catch. It's just stupid. It sounds dumb. So if people are going to start saying no gi, just say, well, no pin. And then it opens up this whole, what do you mean no pin? Dude, listen, it's ridiculous. It's grappling. Okay. Grappling is the word. It's got a whole entry in the dictionary. It's in English. It's not some made up shit, half English, the word no, and half Japanese gi. Like, what? That is such a disaster. And it's so cliquish and like, oh, I know a fancy in term. Whatever, it's dumb. Grappling. Gene LaBelle used it. Luthez, Carl Gotch, Billy Robinson, grappling. It's easy. Everybody understands it. It's already been out there. It's been out there for years. It's not pretentious. So luta libre is Brazilian catch-as-catch-can. I think that what's happened to luta libre is because it's been so embroiled with Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? So we have Brazilian jiu-jitsu, we have Brazilian catch, right? So what do they call jiu-jitsu in Brazil in Portuguese? I don't know. So like luta libre, well, I don't know why you could just say Brazilian catch. It would make it much easier for people that are English speaking to understand what you're talking about. I think the thing that's happened though, right? What is that admonition? Like, beware battling monsters lest you become one yourself. So, and again, I'm not calling jiu-jitsu a monster. I think Brazilian jiu-jitsu is great. I have a lot of respect for it. What I'm going with here, though, is that I think the constant battles with luta libre and jiu-jitsu, they've like hybridized. And that's kind of what we call hybrid grappling. So I look at a guy like Jesse Perez for us, or Sam Crescent for us. Sam is a fourth degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, also an elite scientific wrestling coach. He does hybrid grappling. Jesse Perez, I think he's a second degree black belt under Vinny Magalhaes, and then an elite scientific wrestling coach. And he merges them together, and that's hybrid grappling. That's basically what I think Luta Libre has become. The challenge with Luta Libre is that they've taken out the pin. And to me, the pin is the defining characteristic of catch as catch can. Now, if you take out the submission, now you got folk style, which is NCAA collegiate, right? So catch is pinning and submissions. There's two paths to winning. Make sense? Ariel says, so we need to have something change its name so it's not an obscure jiu-jitsu modality, but it's simply Luta Libre or Brazilian catch. Yeah, dude, I hate that because you're actually losing, to me, you're losing kind of the intellectual battle by defining it in their terms. That's like, you know, how like colonial structures come in and take out the indigenous people by forcing them to use the language of these people instead of your own. Yeah, I think it's whack. I think it's stupid. So I would argue you need to call it, when you're speaking to Brazilians, call it Luta Libre, which, right, is like freestyle, which is what catch as catch can became in the Olympics. Or you need, if you speak to English speakers, you need to say Brazilian catch, or what I prefer is hybrid grappling. I like hybrid grappling because hybrid wrestling was pushed so hard for so many years by Pancras. So it's already got that catch wrestling flavor, that Carl Gotch flavor. But then we talk about grappling, and you know, because I don't want to. There's a lot of people, and I'm not going to mention their names, that lack absolute creativity and just rip the logo off. These are people that I don't even consider competition, right? Because they have to copy. They can never innovate. They have to copy. So they'll always be behind. I'm not worried about those kind of guys. So I like the idea of hybrid grappling because it pushes the word grappling. And then it also talks about, hey, dude, in our hybrid grappling, we bring in stuff from 10th Planet. We'll bring in stuff from Gracie Barr, whatever works. Fair? So let's see here, Ariel. Some old Gracies were involved with Luta Libre and were excluded from the family. George Gracie mainly. Oh, yeah, dude, that's a whole fascinating subject, right? There's a whole fascinating subject about the history of Luta Libre, catch as catch can, in Brazil, and kind of honestly the thug tactics, the lack of good sportsmanship displayed by the jiu-jitseros. I mean, it really is pretty gross, to be honest. I think there is maybe a bit of a cultural problem with jiu-jitsu with regards to ethics and good sportsmanship. I'm not saying it's everybody. I'm saying that there's something inherent in it that needs to be rooted out and fixed. Ariel says he was a great competitor, lost only to Tattoo, the Luta Libre founder. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's a whole interesting subject. There's great materials. I would love somebody to really, really make the case for catch wrestling in Brazil. And I'd love to have somebody in Brazil that's really got the guts to affiliate with us at Scientific Wrestling and bring the catch, the hardcore catch, back to you guys. I want you guys to understand something, that freestyle is great for takedowns, but they have abandoned the ground wrestling. The only place where it's left is folk style. That's why the folk style wrestler is so dominant in MMA. Do you understand? And we already lost a lot when catch wrestling got marginalized. And I'm seeing folk style getting marginalized in favor of freestyle. We need to fight, especially you people on the international scene. You need to fight to make freestyle more like American folk style. It makes it a political battle, but you got to fight. You got to insist. You got to make it happen. You need to understand the differences. And maybe I'll do an article on that, laying out the differences between freestyle and folk style. And why it's important, because the thing is the main driver right now of relevancy is the UFC and mixed martial arts, but largely the UFC. Okay. If your style is not winning in the UFC, folk style wrestling is winning. Folk style and Muay Thai. And that's really, if you look at all of our affiliates, that is the number one combo. To me, catch wrestling is to grappling what Muay Thai is to striking. Brutal, nasty, no belts. Only belt that matters is gold. Get in there and fight. It's a sport. You're expected to compete. Not a martial art. Sport. Make sense? All right, I'm going to wrap this up here pretty quick. You guys need to get in the room. I made the announcement yesterday. I've talked to a bunch of my partners here at Scientific Wrestling. Everybody's in agreement. The upcoming, we're almost wrapped with this spring season. We're about halfway through the spring coaching catch accelerator camps. Okay. We're only going to do 2 more seasons and then we're wrapping it. We're going to update the way we're doing things. Do you understand? What I'm trying to tell you, if you want to get certified, the only path is to become an affiliate. After these 2 seasons, the only path is to become an affiliate. The only reason I'm allowing these 2 seasons is so that you guys could show up and get it done. It's an insane deal. I don't know what to tell you. It's an insane deal. I may even wrap it. 2025 may be the end. So if you are currently engaged, and dude, we've been doing this for almost 20 years. Thousands and thousands and thousands of athletes have come through our doors, through our certifications. Thousands. If you want to continue and earn your coaching cert, before I shutter the doors, you need to show up. Go to coachingcatch.com. These are the last ones. This is how it is, dude. I'm done. I've been doing it 20 years, and it's cool, but I'm updating the model. We're going to be moving from these certifications. Now watch, everybody's going to start copying me. We're going to be moving from the certifications. Okay? We're going to start leaning into a brand new business model, and it's actually the model that I came up through. We're working on it now. I'm going to unveil it. Probably 2025 will be when we unveil it. The best deal going is the affiliate program, scientificwrestler.com. You want to get involved and join our mission. The mission is simple. Our mission is to put competitive professional wrestling, aka catch as catch can, at the top of the mountain in terms of popularity again. It's a revolution, a complete 360 rotation back to the point of origin. Catch wrestling was on top, and we're going to bring it back on top, and it's going to be competitive professional wrestling. That's what Shoot Pro Wrestling is. I just got off the phone this morning with some very, very incredible producers, TV producers, people that do stuff like 24/7 and 30 for 30. Dude, we're blowing up. You need to jump in, and shit's only going to get more expensive. So get in now. Highly recommend. Go to coachingcatch.com. Right now, I'm this close to canceling the Pinion Hills camp, California. That's next weekend. Not this weekend. Next weekend. This weekend is the King of Catch Wrestling in San Diego. Okay? Get to it. Go network. Meet people. Luis Ojeda is going to be there. Okay? Winningest. He's the host of the tournament. He's the winningest catch wrestler in modern history. There's numbers, dude. Just facts. Like how Wade's the number one. Luis is the number one guy in catch, dude. You need to get out there. He's running this thing. Then he's going to be with Sam at Pinion Hills for 2 days teaching. Okay? You guys need to show up. You need to get in the rooms because the opportunity is running out. How many guys, oh, I wish I would have been with Billy. Yeah. Wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which fills up first. That's what my mom used to say. You didn't show up, dude. You didn't do the sacrifice. And back then we were charging $900 at a camp. People got in the room, changed their lives. A lot of those guys are our elite coaches now. People I fly out and pay to, like Sam, like Jesse, like Luis. Okay. I don't know what to tell you guys. Ariel says, and it seems to me there's a tendency to hide the Luta Libre origin sometimes. Yeah, because it don't make money for the other people outside of Luta. And you guys are all so competitive. You're fighting each other instead of creating a united fight and destroying the enemy. Anyway, or your competitor. Congrats to all the initiative of educating people in the practice and history catch. Thanks, Ariel. Appreciate that. Scrolling through, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Ariel, there's a trilogy called Long Before MMA that tells a lot of Luta Libre and Jiu-Jitsu origins here in Brazil. Great, dude. Thanks for all that. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Any other questions, any other comments before I jump? Because I'm going to go and I've got other meetings. I've been in meetings all day. Ariel says, many things documented by journals, public articles. Dude, if you need help, DM me. Send me the stuff. I'll post it up on Scientific Wrestling. We'll get it some traction. We can get it some traction. Maybe you could be my Brazilian correspondent for Scientific Wrestling or something. All right, guys, I'm going to jump here. If you guys want, again, show up, man. You have to show up. You got to take responsibility. You got to figure it out. You got to learn how to make enough money, dude, to like, you know, pay for this stuff. This economy or Biden or Trump or but just whatever, dude. Your mom. Figure it out. You want to get good at wrestling. You want to get good at business. That's it. You need to do that. Sacrifice. Take risks. That's what wrestling is, dude. You go get on the mat. You don't know. It's not WWE. It's not scripted. You don't know who's going to win. That's the point. That's the fun. That's what people used to do for fun. There was no internet. There was no swiping left or right. There was betting on dumb shit. Okay, well, this is the coolest, most impactful combat sport ever. Get involved. Join us on the mission. I could use your help, but you got to show up. You got to make it happen. You got to get invested. People don't pay, and pay doesn't mean money. Carl Gotch would make you pay with 500 squats, 250 Hindu push-ups, and a 3-minute bridge. I paid. I did that. Can you fucking do it? I did it in front of Carl Gotch. Dude had high standards, bro. I paid the costs. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in my personal development. Nobody owes you anything, dude. Stop being a freaking communist loser. Okay? Get out and hustle. Grind. You pay to play. You get paid for working, doing stuff you don't want to do. Okay? You ever expect to get paid as a pro, you're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to push. Anybody telling you different is trying to sell you something. Now, the reason why you hook up with mentors and you get apprenticeships and stuff like that is so you can shortcut. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay? Let's go, man. Let's make this happen. Get to coachandcatch.com. Go sign up for Pinion Hills, man. If I don't see signups today, I'm going to yank it. Okay? That's it. You guys miss out on opportunity. No skin off my, I don't care. I do more than anybody on this planet for this sport and have for 2 fucking decades. I don't care. The people who are actually going to take action and do shit show up. The rest, they're on the internet with bullshit. That's how it goes, dude. All right. So if there's no other questions, no other comments, nobody has a topic, I'm going to jump. I appreciate the hell out of all you guys. Get in the room, Coach and Catch. This weekend, dude, the 24th on Sunday, Imperial Beach. Go to kingofcatchwrestling.com. You can register there. Show up, get some matches, have some fun, challenge yourself, test yourself under the rules of catch wrestling. See if you can hang. It's tough. It's a tough sport. Go meet Luis Ojeda, the winningest catch wrestler ever. The following weekend, Pinion Hills, 2 days. Sam Crescent, handpicked by Billy and me for catch. Big Steve Peasy, hey, what's up, brother? And also Luis, dude, you get literally cream of the crop guys. Show up, get in the room. Sam, bestseller on BJJ Fanatics, okay? So, what else? Get affiliated because everything's moving towards the affiliation. All that we're going to be doing anymore is going to be the affiliation program and Shoot Pro Wrestling. Those two things. Those are where we're at right now. Everything else has already been built. Those are the foundations. Now we're moving to build the skyscraper. And then pretty soon we're going to leave the atmosphere. Okay. So, and then of course, if you run a business and it's not wrestling related or martial arts related, that's cool. That's cool. I can help you. Go check out the testimonials at number1coaching.com. And it's spelled like this, N-O-1 coaching.com, N-O-1 coaching.com. Check it out. Big Steve Peasy says, can't wait to finally hit a seminar this year. Which one are you going to, Steve? Because Pinion Hills, I may yank the chain on that. We've only got a couple signups. Nobody's showing up, and I'm going to just pull the whole fucking program. I'm just being honest with you guys. I do so much and so many sacrifices, and there's no money in this. I don't know what to tell you. The people who know, there's no money in it. We're doing this because we want to pass it on. And you're not even willing to fucking show up or pay like a ridiculous. You pay $350 to go to like an hour seminar with some big celebrity, and you learn nothing, and you get a Polaroid. What are your priorities, dude? What are you doing? You're like a nerd. You're like these people that go to like FanCon and shit. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I go to those, but like, don't pretend that you're actually a wrestler or a grappler. Big Steve Peasy, you've been doing God's work for years, Jake. Hey, dude. Well, Billy and Carl, hopefully they're up in heaven. And so, yeah, I'm doing their work. I'm continuing it on, and I'm trying to get everybody else to help. They lit my candle. I'm trying to light your candle and get everybody else to help out with this. So join me, become my partner. That's what the affiliation program is all about. Also, we've got a big opportunity for a 215 pounder to get on a Shoot Pro show on a televised MMA platform. If you know somebody, I need it now. I need it like yesterday. I got to get this figured out because the fight is next weekend. All right. So hit me up. CoachingCatch.com, scientificwrestler.com. What else? Number1coaching.com. I'm here to help you guys. That's why I do this. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I've been on here too long already. You guys have a killer weekend, and we will talk.